Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to be working on my second video that is showcasing one of the projects I've done during 2025 that I really like doing. And this one was Picket fence pockets. And I'm going to be using my December Patreon kit, also available on my Ko-fi account, to make a pocket from these winter pages. Since it is past Christmas, so hopefully you all had a wonderful Christmas holiday. And we're just gonna start focusing faux pas on winter. So I'm gonna cut these papers down. I will be right back. All right, so I did forget to show what the picket fence pocket looked like beforehand, and these were them. The original video project I made out of random scraps. So this one is going to be a little bit more specific to winter. So you can do it either way. So this is what this ended up being. Like I said, it just ended up being a pocket that you put on your page and be able to slip something behind it. Kind of look like a picket fence. Hence, picket fence pockets. All right, so what I'm going to start with this, I don't think I used, no, it's just regular ugly scrapbook paper that I have behind there. And I originally cut it to 3 by 5. You could also use, I think, index cards are 3 by 5. But what I have is, I have a ton of these cardstocks laying around. These are 4.5 by 6.5, I believe. You have 4.5 by 6.5. So I'm going to cut it in half. This is going to be a little bit bigger than that one. So if this is 6.5, that'd be 3, 3.25. And again, you can make it any size you want. Because of your pockets, just make sure it's not too wide because you don't want it to come off of a page. So this is, like I said, 4.5, which will be plenty fine for a pocket. And it's double-sided, so it doesn't really matter which goes on which for this. And I've cut the strips, and I've kind of randomly cut each of those pieces of paper I showed you into different thicknesses. And like I said, this is great for scraps, a scrap buster. But since I was starting from paper, I just started with making my own little scraps. So this is gonna be, and I did clean this out. So let's see. Hey, all right, it's flowing. You keep it. It's really flowing good. Keep it even on the bottom. You can make it a little bit below if you want to trim it. And all you have to do is keep the, I'll put a little on here to overlap it. Keep it jagged top to bottom so that you can vary it and go from there. So simple to do, and like I said, great for a scrap buster. I think I went a little far on this one, but that's okay. It'll go for the next one. And I will go back. I'm going to show you how we get the tops taken care of. Go this one lower. Get that so that they don't fall apart or don't separate too much. And I might trim those down just a little bit. Might be a little taller than I want. I don't want them really sticking out too high. Now I did it a couple ways on when I remember when I was doing it originally, was I started from one side and moved on, and then another one I started from the two ends and moved to the center, so the center piece was on top versus the end piece. So there's two ways you can do it. I will do the second one that way. And they're even a little bit crooked, which is fine because, you know, picket fences can be a little bit crooked. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get this one to fit. Yes, it will fit. Beautiful. All right, we're going to cut it right about there and glue this one down. So you can see how truly simple these are to make. as well as being an awesome scrap buster. And if you get your scraps out and a bunch of pre-cut squares, you could just make a ton of these so simply. All right, so like I said, it didn't really matter that the bottom was bad, so we can go back and trim that so that the bottom is straight. If you round to around the corners, you can. If you wanted to, you know, round these, you could. I'd like to just snip the corner a little bit, just to give it a little bit of pickety fence look. And I probably could have done it beforehand, but it's just as easy to do it after. All right, so like I said, to make sure that these are all together, then I go through and put a little glue in where it's above the fence, just so that they stay together and become a little bit more solid. And a little bit there. And it's a pocket, so it doesn't matter that I got a smudgy there. And if you want to ink it, you can ink it afterwards. If you want to ink the sheets beforehand, you could do that. But there you go. And I did pull out of that J. I showed that on my last video, this J. Lou Christmas snippets. I have Warm Wishes and Special Delivery. Let's do Warm Wishes over here. So I think I'm going to use my stick glue on this pretty thin paper. Now I did this printout. These papers were sort of thick paper, not too thick. And I think they're not totally hard, but I still think they would work just fine for pockets, especially since you are gluing it to a base, and the base is really thick and sturdy. But there you go. There's one pocket. Super cute for winter. All right, I like that. I like how all those snowflakes went together. All right, so here's the second one. And like I said, we will go ahead and we will start from the outside and work our way in. This one's pretty neutral. I didn't know how much I needed to cut for these, you know? So oops, let's cover that up. So I just cut a bunch of strips. And we went from there. All right. So we're going to do this one, like I said, the other one. We're going to start from the two ends and work our way to the center. Probably should figure out which one I want for the center. And I think I'm going to have that one the center. So put that right there. And let's go from there. And again, if you wanted to ink them beforehand, you could do that. If you wanted to do the picket fence look, you could do that beforehand. And you don't have to do a picket fence look. It can just be straight scraps. Just variety. Just variations. I have a thicker one. I do have a thicker one of that. Let's go with that. Since I am picketing each and every one of these, I will do it ahead of time. Not the straightest picket in the world, but it will do. Okay, so this is going to be the center. And let's go with that one. And as I was just thinking, like I didn't watch any of these videos before I did them. I just kind of remember how I did them. But what you can do is kind of like I'm going to do here is I'm going to put it down. And then I can go back and then cut it down so I don't really waste a ton at the bottom for that. Okay, that's a little crooked, but hey, again, picket fences, they can be a tad crooked, right? All right, so if I put that one, that'll work. That'll be the center. Okay, let's go with that. This one only took, what, 1, 2, 6. So this one took 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, 6. Okay. So it's truly not a center-ish one, because if it was center, it would be an odd number, like 3 and 3 and then a center. So you definitely could do that. And for this, I'm making the pockets on the outside higher and going toward the center, where this one was more of a random look. All right, so we're going to put that one down a little bit lower. We'll snip that pocket, and we'll glue these two down. Yeah, picket fence pockets. So fun, so easy to make, and a great scrap buster, or as you see here, a theme. All right, let's cut the bottoms. Be able to save that. I can make about 6 more, looks like. Oop, I didn't pick it this last one, or the first one I put down. All right, let's get this mess out of here a little bit. And let's secure the tops. Looks like about it. All right, I do have the special delivery label, which would be great. And then I also thought of, it'd be fun to use one of these on here, like this dark one. I'm going to take a moment to cut that out. All right, I got it cut out, and as I was cutting it out, it's really hard to cut too fussy cut because of all the little things. I was thinking this would have been perfect to print on the clear sticker paper. I've done that with some of my fussy cut stuff. I did that with the Red Barn one, but that would be perfect. Not that the white's that bad, you know, snowflakes, but I'm gonna put that there. Oh, that's cute. And then we'll put special delivery right there. Yeah, I like it. So, picket fence pockets, another one of my favorites from the year. Let me know if you made any of these from the original video, or if this is something that you're going to like to try from seeing this one. And yeah, I really do like them. So fun. And the original Scrapbuster one. Too cute. Okay, well that is going to be it for this video. As usual, I am so happy you all stopped by, and I hope you have any, if you have any questions or comments, you feel free to put them below. This was the second video of my favorites, so I've got 3 more to go to the end of the year. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.